Yeah. I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won. Yeah. I hope my team they won. Yeah. Man. I hope my team they won. Yeah. I hope my team they won. Yeah. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with the hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gonna teach a lesson.
Welcome to Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab radio show and podcast. This is episode 623. We are at the Indy Report, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's having an outstanding week. Happy hump day and all that other good stuff. And I have two good brothers with me. We got Jeffery Johnson and Brandon King. Jeff, how's it going, my man?
Man, I'm sorry. I got food all in my mouth.
All right, I'll start with Brandon first. I'll let you go ahead and finish that off. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing good, man. How's it going, my brother?
Doing all right, man. I know I don't hear no twins today, so that's a good sign. You know, you got some peace, and there's no shame in that.
Yeah, it's quiet. It's a little quieter around here this evening. So. Two free hands today.
Two free hands. That's what's up.
You scaring me because you know that's what I got coming. So
enjoy these times. You see?
Yeah.
Because Jeff, what do you hear right now at your house?
What? Say it again.
What do you hear right now at your house?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Oh God. God.
You'll learn to treasure those moments because they'll be few and far in between.
I don't want to lose my spot at the gym. You know, I like bike riding. I know it's gonna go. So that's what
you'll have to figure out how to work it in. It's because especially in the beginning with two of them, especially if they're not on the same sleep schedule. It was one morning I was so tired. I was standing in front of the refrigerator. Thinking I was drinking some milk, was about to drink some olive oil or something. I was so out of
too long.
All right, let's go through the intro real quick. Welcome to episode 623 of Inside HBCU Sports Live radio show and podcast, a show covering the sporting HBCU diaspora, all things HBCU sports from institutions large and small, from the NAIA to NCAA. We share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture and HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU athletic programs and the business of HBCU sports. I'm your host, David L. Rhodes, along with my co-hosts, Jeffery Johnson and Brandon King. We are filming live from our home studios and sending a signal live to our KCOA 12:30 a.m. studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer Ralph Cooper in the beautiful home of Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. So, gentlemen, man, it's been a kind of a crazy week for some folks. So, you got any news popping off? Any news today outside of our institutions? Do you have any news, Jeff, at all? Or
you know what? I don't have any news, but I mean, there has been chatter. I mean, not like official chatter, but people have been asking like about Coach Lavelle Moulton's job security, which I find hilarious.
Well, it all depends on who you ask.
Man, look.
There's a pocket of, like, I've heard the innuendo too, and I think he's safe. Let me be clear. Yeah. I think he's safe, but I think he hasn't won a championship in a while, guys. And that's the expectation down there in Durham.
Norfolk State,
whether it's realistic or not.
No, yeah. I mean, I think, like, I've heard a couple comments, people saying, well, he's always been interviewing for jobs, so he don't really care about the central job anymore.
Oh, no, I'm not going. I don't think I'm going there. He's an alumnus of that university, so I'm not going to go there. But I do think there's probably some folks who are saying his time is running because he hasn't won a championship in a while.
I mean, but you got to give that credit to Coach Jones over at Norfolk State.
No, I agree. I think Coach Jones is running a program, but I just think that the expectation is to win. Yeah. Like, they want to win. Yeah. They like just like any other institution. Like I know that, shout out to my boy Josh for HBCU Nightly. I know that he would love it to be a football school, but that school down the road has been a basketball school through and through.
Yeah, and North Carolina is a basketball state, so
yep.
I mean, they have Durham alone. The triangle area has a lot of good basketball players. So I think he is not successful in the portal era. You know, he kind of has that do as I say kind of mentality, and it doesn't really work with a lot of these kids. So because he constantly leaks players.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a thing, right? Because there's going to be a lot of coaches that's got to make that adjustment, and they're going to choose whether or not they can make the adjustment. And if you're winning, you ain't got to worry about making that adjustment. But then when it starts becoming a thing where you're not really like near the top of the standings, you're going to make the tournament.
Yeah, because they're 3 and 4 in conference. So
yeah,
and I mean, and when you listen to him in media settings, you can tell. I won't say to a Saban-esque level, but he definitely has some disdain for this wild west era of college athletics.
Yeah.
And he's talked about it in depth because he said, you find some of these players that maybe got overlooked, fell through the cracks, whatever the case may be, and you develop these diamonds in the rough, and then the programs that couldn't be bothered with them, now, to quote the great Mike Jones back then, they didn't want you. So, he's like, you lose players that way because maybe, this school over here has got an NIL bag, or, their facilities are a little shinier and newer and all of those things. So, he's definitely expressed how he's felt about that. And I don't know if that is, partially because, but like you just said, he's kind of leeching players, and we've seen it. A lot of guys leave the program, quality contributing guys over the past few years. So that could fuel maybe why he feels the way he feels. But I don't know. I mean, if you're the Philadelphia 76ers in the era of the juggernaut Celtics, what can you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
They think that they can, and the thing is, Norfolk has showed spots where they could be beat during conference play.
Yeah.
So when you have a fan base that expects you to win championships, and you're seeing a potential vulnerable Norfolk, then
they're vulnerable, but I don't know. They're kind of a juggernaut the past couple years, and I kind of got that. Like, I look at Moton as I look at Bobby Knight. It's like not the antics Bobby Knight, but the refusal to change. Whereas I felt like Moton is kind of all right. Well, he started off with just point guards. Now he specializes in bigs, and now he's kind of. Then when Biggs kind of got Kyle O'Quinn, then he moved off of Biggs, and now he's kind of back into that 2, 3, 4 type of alignment. So I always just kind of felt like Moton is just like, I'm going to do it my way. It wins my way. And the players, I'm not going to say they're not susceptible to it, but they're more like, okay, they get into that program, and there's always something where he has a mass exodus. So whatever it is, that's on him.
Let me pose this question to some, and I don't want to speak for some of these pockets, but is it possible because when your Joe Bryants and all those guys leave Norfolk, there was a thought that maybe they're going to come back to the field a little bit, and we can get them, and that ain't happened. And the folks they looking at Coach Moton like, what's up? What's happening here?
It's more than that too. Like, we're talking about the fact we're just focused on Norfolk. Howard's been sitting there too.
Yeah.
So like that's the thing, right? So you got Howard there. South Carolina State has been showing some things. Yeah, so the question becomes, all right, guys. Like, it's one thing if you're just telling me Norfolk's the problem, but now you got Howard might be starting to become the problem. South Carolina State starting to become the problem. Delaware State starting to become the problem. So now we're sitting at potentially being at 5th.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
That is a problem.
Like that. I mean, that's just a problem. Like, So and then you got folks thinking that makes too much, and I'm thinking like, you out your mind. Like I think he's
No.
comparable to what they make. They paying folks in the conference. We can talk about somebody who's not making enough, but maybe we'll talk about that after the break. Like I know this is supposed to be focused on the Indy report, but I got some thoughts about some things.
Go ahead.
So when we get into men's basketball, maybe I'll sneak it in about what's going on with FAMU. But it's just or I could bring it now, but I know we got to go to break soon. Any news of the day, Brandon?
No, I think it's been talked about on the show from the Legacy series and us stepping away from the Southern Heritage Classic.
Oh,
we talked about that last week.
I love it. I think I love it, man. I mean, we talked about near the end, right? Look, man, you got to pay the fee.
Yeah,
you got to pay the fee.
From what I've been told, that the numbers that they came to the table with, they weren't willing to come up off of, and schools that were contacted, they was like, we're not taking yesterday's price is not today's price. So if you're not willing to cut that check, then we won't be here. But I mean, I'm not terribly shocked, and I think I may have even said it, having attended the past couple of years, it was like going to shopping malls in the past 10 years. You could see it dying a slow death.
Woo!
I'm
Too many
not
shoe
really
stores creep in. Too many.
Yep. When you start seeing like this was the era where you see all the little cheap clothing stores coming in, out of food court and all that. Like, oh, the mall is in trouble.
Cell phone.
$30 on these Easter outfits. This place is in trouble.
Nah, you know it's over when you see Amazon pop up. When Amazon takes an area of the mall, that's when you know it's almost over. You know it's a wrap then.
It's a wrap.
Them jewelry booths.
Look, now that we got Alabama A&M on the schedule, I am pushing. Look, we need to get Texas Southern on the schedule. It needs to happen. We haven't played.
TSU versus TSU, yeah. Y'all will beat them by 40, man.
The TSU needs to happen.
Y'all will beat them by 40, bro. Like I don't know why. That's why it's not on the schedule, because y'all will probably beat them by 40.
That's why it should be on the schedule, so we can beat them by 40.
But would that be a draw though? Texas Southern's not really
no, but it's TSU versus TSU. Who's the real TSU? Like you could probably make some branding off of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You could have it in the hole whenever they get it fixed. You could probably pack it out or come close to it. It could be a semi-money game. You could do it as a home and home.
Yeah.
There's quite a few there's quite a few real TSU alumnus in Houston. So
got you.
I at one time I asked the then coaches of these programs, one of which is no longer there, they was with it. And what I was told by people that it couldn't happen until like at least 26 or 27.
I was gonna bring up baseball, but I'm the only school that's got a baseball program in here. I think there's talks that Tennessee State might bring theirs back. I don't know if Hampton's gonna ever bring theirs back.
I mean,
I need to.
We'll see.
It ain't about money. There's a lot of sports that we play. There ain't no money in.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
like we play
primarily at all levels.
Yeah, it's A&T slated to go 10th in the CAA. Only the top 6 teams make the playoffs. They last year they had an overall 25-28 record. I believe they were 9-17 in conference, if I recall correctly. I got to double check this name. No. We were really good out of conference. Like, I mean, we'll occasionally beat a P4 team. Occasionally, Coach Ben Hall is really good. He's a heck of a coach, and considering the circumstances he has with the stadium, he's a literal miracle worker when it comes to the baseball.
What is the deal with that stadium? I see it in the news all the time. What is the deal with that mess?
It's a lot, man.
Isn't it called like War Eagle Stadium or something?
It's War Memorial Stadium. It's an historic landmark.
Oh, yeah. Don't play it. Historic landmarks.
No, the thing is, Greensboro doesn't have a beat writer, right? Okay. So Greensboro doesn't have a sports beat writer. Like there was a time where Greensboro, like the News and Record had a beat writer, which is the newspaper and local paper. They used to have a beat writer that covered A&T sports.
Yeah.
That beat writer went away long ago when papers were dissolving and things of that sort. So they cut that. So nobody's really covering what's going on with the stadium, and that could be like a story about like the process of what it's been to try to get what needs to get done to make the stadium what it needs to be. That stadium is held off getting us a soccer program, like that state, because the thing is, once they redo the stadium, they're gonna be able to move the softball in there. Then they can create the room to make the soccer field.
Yeah,
and then we can finally have women's soccer, because that should be the next sport up.
Yeah.
So, but like, we've been talking about, like, we took ownership of that stadium back in 2019. We still haven't. We've done things, but we still haven't done the thing. Like they put rendering out for what it's going to look like when it's done.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if my daughter's going to be graduated from college by then, and whether or not it'll be done. So I don't know.
With it having that designation, are there certain parameters that they have to stay in as far as upgrades and
but for what I understand, the historic committee, I don't know what they're called. What I understand, they got all the approvals for that, but then it's like you still got to work with the state and the city and everything else with the bureaucracy of all that to do all the things you got to do. But there's a lot of work that has to be done in that stadium.
No.
There's a lot of work that's got to be done in that stadium. I went to a game there last season, and then when you go to a game to like an opposing team, because I went to Northeastern the other year when they had road games up in Boston. So I went to the game. Look, man, that thing was pristine, I tell you. And I'm gonna probably go to them. They play them again in Boston this year. I'm probably gonna go to at least 2 of the games this year. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But it's a significant difference. Like, nice stadium.
Gotcha.
So it's just, soccer's going where the houses we're still trying to buy are located, not behind trees. Oh, okay. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
So maybe we can get soccer someday. But yeah, we're still trying to buy them houses. We're still trying to buy more property near the campus.
Y'all got money. Y'all ain't like Howard.
Huh?
Y'all got money.
Not as much as Howard. Howard out here about to have $1 billion. We ain't Howard.
Nah, look. I lived across the street from them. They could have bought way more than what they did. The fact, I will say this: if Dr. Harvey was a president at Howard, they would have owned everything from Georgia Avenue to 14th Street.
I believe it.
Real talk. Wouldn't have been no gentrification. They would have had the gentrifiers would have had to rent them homes. We wouldn't have sold not one property.
Yeah,
wouldn't have been no dog walking there or nothing.
Yeah. All right. So let's take our first break. When we come back, we'll talk some basketball. So we'll be right back. This is Dr. Grills inside HBCU Sports Lab, the Indy Report.
It's like a loot machine. All around town, people trying to get down. It's like a loot machine.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonia from She Say Sports. Make sure to check us out every Friday morning at 9 a.m. on Black College Sports Network, YouTube, and Linktree. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page.
Press the analytic data with the hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Welcome back to Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. We can talk about some basketball, man. I want to quickly talk about the FAMU situation. So I guess they approved the contract for Coach Crary. They gave him an additional 2 years. Should have did it in the first place, guys. I believe there's like a $30K out if he decides to take a position after a certain date. But other than that, and I initially I felt like he shouldn't sign the deal. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, what does he have to lose? If he finds another position elsewhere, he can just go if he wants to go. Because he's getting paid among the lowest in Division I for coaching, and he's already won more conference games than the last 2 seasons that FAMU got. So he's already he's on pace to potentially give FAMU their first winning record since 2006. And Brandon, yeah. So they've been bad for a while in basketball. They'll talk about their football, but basketball. Hasn't been their calling for a while.
You know what? I would say this with their basketball. I think when they had Mike Gillespie, that was when they had some really, I would say, some interesting teams. They were pretty competitive. I think they won a playing game. Are you hungry, son? Yeah. I'll be there in a moment. So they had some pretty interesting teams during those years, but it's been so few and far in between. For such a program that has great facilities, they've always had it's always been a dumpster fire when it came to coaching. So
and the thing is, man, I saw how great their stadium was, their arena was, and I'm like, man, they are really not taking advantage of what they got.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Brandon?
It's crazy that like you said, that it took this long. Being the new coach and a lame duck coach at the same time is nasty work.
Yeah.
Crazy. Look, if I'm Coach Crary, look, I still got my LinkedIn profile with the little green circle around it open to work. Because if I was him, look, seeing how they chew through ADs and coaches down there, I don't know his living situation, but any boxes, I don't know if I would unpack anything just yet, even with the 3-year deal. But it was long overdue. But when he was hired, we all know the crazy situation that was going on in the athletic.
Yeah, it wasn't about. I don't think it was about him. I just think there was there was unnecessary pettiness about the person that was the AD at the time, in my opinion. But that's just my thoughts on that regard, right?
But my concern is, why does this always happen at FAMU? What is it going on within those buildings?
They've been, but I will say, since Angelo Suggs became the AD, it's been pretty quiet. It's been pretty.
Of course, it's gonna be quiet for a while, but eventually, some.
This might be a record if you want to keep it a buck. Considering the things that they've been going through, this might be a record. I mean, it's been pretty quiet.
Boy, I hope they don't tick her off and she leaves, because that was a home run hire.
I think that was a good hire for them. Absolutely. But the running joke I've been having in Aggieland is, don't worry, we might have an availability coming on at this rate. Right now, the A&T Aggies are 0-12 in the CAA on the men's side. They lost 2 close games on CBS over the weekend. They lost to Campbell, had a chance to beat Campbell, and they lost to College of Charleston. 2 really good teams in the conference. Yeah. I was worried about Campbell because they've been beating folks by 40, but we ended up losing a close one by 4. Yeah. I will say this: since the players got suspended, they've actually been playing pretty well as a team. They just haven't been able to get a win out. I think if they could try to find a way to keep this core, and I wouldn't have an issue bringing the kids that are currently playing back, because I think right now they're playing 6 players. We're down to we're kind of depleted as a team, but they're playing their hearts out. They're playing tough. They're playing hard for Coach Ross, which is very commendable. I just think it's going to be hard if they don't win any conference games. It's just my opinion. I think it's going to be difficult to bring the coach back if you don't win a conference game.
No, I totally agree. I think the fanfare was pretty. It seemed like people were really supportive of him when he got in when he became coach. But You know what? It's just that you got to win. You got to win these games, at least close games. And it's just that I think when there's too much stuff going around, too much noise around the program, and every time I look at A&T, it's always noise. And I think noise is not good. And just like FAMU, noisy.
That's why the transition was so outstanding. But it's not the greatest noise. Like our noise and the FAMU noise is different. Like,
no, I mean, okay, no, you had noise too, because if you keep it a buck, football noise was noise.
Yeah,
so even though it wasn't in that arena, but it still transfers over. I mean,
I'm just happy the ladies ain't taking all this noise. Like the volleyball team's doing well, the basketball team doing well.
Auxiliary sports, nobody talks about auxiliary sports, so it's always about the main one. So yeah, so I would just say it like this. I mean, come on, you're talking about like Hampton University under Dr. Harvey was a totalitarian regime. You know, we were held like when Don Rhodes was there, he had his hand would go up into a string there. So, you know, it's like that's how it was with us. So I'm just being honest. So I can talk because being from that type of experience, but what I'm just saying is though, Monty Ross, I mean, do y'all hold on? What is his contract situation?
He's got a 5-year deal. I think he's got 3 years left. I mean, we're paying him pretty well, which goes back to
hold on. What is up with these 5-year deals?
That's what we do, man. We give 5-year deals.
A year.
No, that's what we do. Like we give 5-year deals, and we give them a chance to build. We're trying to give them a chance to build the program until the alumni gets angry.
Woo! Lord have mercy.
And AJ, my brother, you are correct. Yes, you are correct. Getting there, man. We are approaching FAMU noise status. We're getting very close.
No. I wouldn't say you're approaching it because FAMU's noise status is historic. You know, their noise status been going on since the Billy Joe era. So y'all are now nowhere near that FAMU noise.
I mean, we can get to that level, but then we get back. We simmer down. Like you bring new coach in. Yeah. We gain confidence. We have faith. Like Coach Gibbs, he's doing what he's supposed to do. We have faith, and then that'll be that.
Yeah.
But like
your noise is from the fan base and from the people with money, whereas FAMU's noise is always from within administration. And their
alums will get busy too.
Yeah, that's that fish and chicken, type of noise. Whereas y'all noise is moneyed noise, and moneyed noise is totally different from that. So
the FAMU fans got busy for about 15 minutes when they was trying to save Coach Simmons. They came up with that money.
Coach Simmons left.
I put myself out.
Yo.
That was the first moment I realized how noisy they could get. Like I knew what everything else was going on, but that's the first thing. But let me not turn this into a FAMU show. Yeah. So how's Hampton doing, man, on the men's side? Like how?
Right, so the men are 12-13. If you saw the Howard game recently, we like up 13 with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left.
You almost gave it away.
And we gave it away. They literally.
Well, y'all won the game, but y'all almost gave it away.
No. That's a loss to us. I mean, we won, but no. You do not be up. You're not supposed to be up at 2 minutes and 35 seconds with 13 points. They scored back-to-back 4-pointers. Like they stole the ball twice, hit 2 3-pointers on fouls, hit both free throws. Now they only down maybe 4, and then tie the game up. We go into overtime down 4, and then get it in between 2 3. Hit a 3-pointer with the foul shot, win by a free throw. Like that is Ed Joyner or Buck Joyner type of basketball. And we've tried mercilessly to get away from that. But I would say this: we're 12-13. We just beat Northeastern in Massachusetts, 84-75. That was a good one for us, and we got Drexel coming up tomorrow. So we got Drexel, Hofstra, and Stony Brook. So we got some, I would say, semi-winnable games. And in conference, we are, what are we? We're 4-8 in conference, and which is better than what the prognosticators had. But 2 of those wins came against A&T. So
look, man, let me explain something to you. You better take them wins because you could be 0-12.
yeah.
I didn't even bother putting my record in there. A&T currently right now, they're 0-12 in conference, 4-21 overall.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
They're currently on how many games they've lost in a row?
Shoot.
It's a lot.
The last game I won was that Central?
No, they have school down the road. Yep. That's the last game we won.
Woo, that was a while ago.
We're on an 11-game losing streak right now.
Yeah. So, but the girls though, yeah.
No, we'll talk about the girls after the break. But,
all right.
But what about Tennessee State?
The men, they just beat. Shoot, I just did a story on the game. My mind is blank here.
That's fine,
I got it pulled up. No, I got it pulled up. But actually, the men, like I said, right now in the season, they are 12-13, but they're 8-6 in conference. Which they've actually really over I would say the past, they won 6 out of the last 7. So they're starting to stack together some quality wins, which they needed considering how they started off the season. It was looking pretty bad. So they're starting to play a whole lot better, and they're doing it in a lot of different ways. One of the last games, the bench had like 39 points off the bench. You score 20-something points off turnovers. And in this past game, you just pretty much win, wire to wire. So I think they may actually get to where they were predicted to finish in conference, which is a minor miracle considering where they were about a month ago. So I've taken my hand completely off the panic button, and we've put it back inside the glass case. So we're all right. I can't relate.
I can't relate at all.
Oh man,
Lindenwood. Good Lord, I couldn't. It's not like I wrote about it or anything. I don't.
Look, man, there's so many things going on. I get it, man. You ain't got to tell me.
So, are we doing women after the break, or
we're gonna do women after the break? And we're about to go to break, but I'm gonna respond to my man A&T Roy. Man, you're right. A&T did beat Morgan State, and they did beat the school down the road, and Morgan State did beat Norfolk State, but it doesn't change the fact that we have not won a conference game, and we are 4-21, and with 6 games remaining, is it 5? With 5 games remaining, I don't know where we're gonna get this. Like the only one I think we might be able to get Stony Brook at home, because the way I will say the way we've been playing much improved. Might be able to get Stony Brook at home, maybe. I don't know if we can, and maybe we can probably, because folks tend to Elon is an interesting game, but it's at Elon, so I'm worried about that. But we got to play College of Charleston at home. We got to play Campbell at home, and Stony Brook at home, and then we go on a road to Boston. We do the Boston New York trip. We go to play Northeastern, then we go play Hempstead, and I think that closes out the season. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if we can try to get one of these wins. I think it's just going to be tough if they go 0-18 in the conference, man. It's just going to be tough. Just difficult.
It might be. I wanted to ask Jeff, because I actually watched the Northeastern game too. I was pretty impressed with how y'all played. Would you say that's the best game y'all played this season?
You know what? I would say it's probably one of them. The best game we played this season for us has been, it's probably the Delaware game. when we played
Yeah,
Delaware.
I would probably say the first game against Howard. Y'all played a pretty good game against them.
Yeah, but you know what's weird? It's like it's like for us, it's like Howard's. They're 5-2 now. That was a good game. I would admit that.
Okay.
But Delaware was good for us too because it just felt like a complete game for us. But I would definitely put both Howard games in there second.
All right, we're gonna take this break. This is probably gonna be the final break of the show. I might be able to sneak one more in, but after this break, we're gonna talk about women's basketball. So we'll be right back after this break.
Planning an event from weddings to corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC brings over 15 years of experience to make your vision a reality. Based in Metro Atlanta and serving statewide, even internationally, we provide versatile event planning and authentic catering cuisines tailored to your needs. Whether it's pre-game meals for student athletes, fundraisers, weddings, corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC is your one-stop solution for exceptional service and unforgettable food. Our diverse culinary heritage means we cater to all cultural taste, dietary needs, and food restrictions, making every meal uniquely yours. Let's make your next event unforgettable. Visit us on all social media at CMJ Events LLC or email us at cmjeventsllc@gmail.com. Also give us a call at 404-664-3882 so that we can start planning now.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavil of Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app. As we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavil's Inside HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
When you're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics, there's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Press the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Welcome back to Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. This is the Indy Report. All right, let's talk about the ladies. The Lady Aggies, they were hyped up for their game up against Charleston. And they showed it. They had a pretty good game against them. They won on Friday night. Everybody was happy, and it was celebratory, as they should be. And then Campbell came to town 2 days later. And they got us, man. They got those ladies. So, still first place in the conference. I had the opportunity to beat Campbell. Would have enjoyed to continue having that 2-game lead, but we still have a 1-game lead in the conference right now. The ladies are 9-2 in conference. 13-9 overall. Dr. Cavil dropped them down to number 5. I felt the way about that in the ranking. Felt the way about that, and I let him know about that because I made an appearance on the show yesterday.
I would too, definitely.
I felt the way about it because I understand they lost and I get it. But College of Charleston is the highest ranked team in the conference from a net ranking standpoint. That was a big win. They won by 12, 71-59, but they ended up losing to Campbell 2 days later at home. First home loss in conference, 52-56. And next up, we got Northeastern, which I plan on going to that game on Friday. Me and the kids are going to make the appearance down to Boston and go to that game. And then we got William and Mary this weekend. So it should be that Sunday. Actually, no, we only got one game this weekend. We just got Northeastern on Friday. And then we get a rest. And then we get to watch everybody else. Chaos ensues on Sunday. They don't have to play on Sunday. The next game is after Northeastern is against William and Mary at William and Mary the following Friday. But yeah, no, I was not happy with when I saw they fell down to 5. It was the same 5 teams, but they dropped them to 5. So
yeah, I don't think you should fall 5 points just because of that loss to College of Charleston. So,
or we lost to Campbell. I mean,
you lost.
We lost to Campbell. We beat College of Charleston.
Oh, that's right. You guys did. My bad.
Yeah. That was a big win because I think a lot of folks thought that was the biggest threat in the conference, but we've lost to Monmouth and Campbell. So
yeah.
So it's been, but that women's tournament, man, anybody can get it. Like the 7th seed is won it both years that we've been in the conference.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get the regular season title because that'll be the first title. That'll be the first CAA title for A&T. So I want them to get that regular season title. So and let the dominoes fall as they may from the tournament standpoint.
Yeah. So, but just getting on Hampton's girls, 5-17, 1-10 in the conference. I would say this: they're still fighting. The last couple of games went into OT. We went into OT against William and Mary. That was our last game. That was on Sunday. Lost by 7 late. And the majority of these games, the last 3 have been, I would say, they kind of got away from us. Like we played you guys, lost 51-74, And interesting part, just watching that game, we were only down by 5 first quarter, and then we kind of snuck in and made it close, and then you guys put 22 on the board in the third quarter, and it was just, it was over, for our girls,
Yeah,
for us, I think for the Lady Pirates, she's just pretty much still trying to figure out the lineup. We have a 6'6" center straight out of Russia, and I would say that she's kind of she's not like whenever we're on the fast break, she's never on the fast break. She's kind of lumbering. So it's like she's made certain parts of her pieces are made for half court, but then sometimes it looks like she's running a full court type of offense. And then on defense, I think she's still trying to figure out what team she can put together. So for us, it's just a work in progress. First year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as worried about her.
Yeah,
I think she's gonna turn that program around. It's just gonna take some time. You're gonna gotta have some patience for sure.
And plus, she lost a lot of players from David Six. David Six left her nothing. Like the best player went to William and Mary. People are still hot about that. I think that probably might be the reason David Six might not be elected into Hampton Hall of Fame. They would be that petty to do that.
Oh my goodness, man!
Because of the mass exodus his last year.
Yeah, so the ladies are, somebody said Bill and Mary's gonna be tougher. I disagree. I think UNCW is gonna be a tougher game.
Yeah,
against us.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think William and Mary is gonna be a tougher game.
Yeah.
We just gotta this is the 3rd year in a row that A&T has started 8-1 in that conference.
Yeah.
So we just gotta close it out and get the championship. That's what it boils down to for me. That's what it is. Right now we're 2-2. Well, we're 1-1. Yeah, we're 1-1 so far. So no, that's it right. We started 8-1. We started 7-1 in the conference, and we're 1-2-1 since 2-1 since we started 8-1. My math is terrible today. Don't mind me.
All good.
No, we're 1-1. We're 1-1 since we got started 8-1.
God. Now the question is, what are the Lady Aggies doing that the men can't? I would say reciprocate.
They've had continuity. Terrell Robinson's been coaching there. I think this is his 14th season.
Yeah.
He has an outside shot to break the all-time record for men and women wins.
Yeah.
Of all time.
Yeah.
Right. So if he doesn't break it this year, I don't know if he's able to or not. It's going to be real close.
Yeah.
He got a chance. He will definitely break it next year.
And another thing is, if you look at his support staff, 3 assistant head coaches and a ton of support staff, that's really good for him. And I think that does really well for that program.
Yeah, like that is like one of the biggest factors about because and you could see that with a lot, like even when we started making all the conference changes, the first thing Earl Hilton said was, I expect women's basketball to be competitive. I expect the track program to be competitive.
Yeah.
He was like, I expect baseball to be competitive. I expect he knew the sports where they expected to be competitive. And he pretty much has been pretty spot on. He's like, I expect volleyball to be competitive. Like he knew what sports that they could compete in right away. And that's what's been happening.
Yeah. Now, but A&T Roy talking about track and field. So one of my homeboys from high school is y'all's coach, Terrence Chamel.
Ooh,
so,
I love that pickup too.
Yeah,
man.
he we went to Southwest DeKalb High School in Decatur, Georgia, and I just remember like because he's friends with our head track and field coach, but we just didn't have anything for him. But you guys got a good coach there, so.
Yeah, Allen Johnson's been doing a good job, and we got to get to Tennessee State women's basketball.
Yeah.
So I know you probably don't want to talk too much about it, man, sir. But you look, man. If I have to suffer through A&T men's, you have to roll with the Tennessee State women right now. But I know they're a rebuilding situation too. So
yeah, it's similar to Hampton. We're 7-17 overall, and I almost feel bad for saying this. I don't remember 7 wins this season. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but 3-10 in conference. I will say they have won 2 out of the last 4. They did lose to Lindenwood in their last game, but they've actually this has been some of the best stretches of basketball they played this year. They had some real issues earlier in the season. They would get off to really slow starts, and so you're starting off the second, third, and fourth quarter playing uphill. And I mean, some of these quarters, I'm talking 8-point quarters where you're going 1 of 11 from the field and shooting. There's been, when we recap, there's been several sub 30% quarters, sub 30% games, and even some sub 20% games. They had one, I think they shot like 16% from the field in a quarter, and then it was exacerbated with turnovers, and you're not going to beat any teams like that. But yeah, just coming off a loss, so they'll be back at it on tomorrow. So they're hitting the road to play Eastern Illinois. So we'll see if they can bounce back from that. But I guess all things considered, if they could squeeze out 10 wins this season, I think considering everything, I never want to say a sub 500 season is successful, but considering where they were and where it looked like, I think they would feel like the program is starting to kind of head in the right direction. So that's kind of my hope for these last remaining games.
Yeah, this is her first year as a coach, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so we got time, man. You got to be patient. Got to be patient with her. Yeah. Let her give her a chance to build a program and do what you got to do there.
The good news is that by and large, they've shown a propensity to kind of let these coaches start to have a chance to put their imprint on a particular program, because the previous women's basketball coach they had a lot of rope. They had a lot, and it was some lean years before they finally decided to pull the plug. It was like when you go 0 for, you only win 1 game. They finally decided to do it, but you see it. We saw it in football because you had people ready to run Eddie George out of town 2 years ago, and now look where the program is now. So I think if they give her time, from what I've seen, I think she'll turn the program around and get the Lady Tigers back where they need to be. Just give her some time.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. So it'll be fascinating to see how that progression happens with that program. Do all the teams make the tournament in OVC for the women's side, or is it a limit of how many teams can make it?
I don't think all of them make it. I got to look to verify that.
CAA's bonanza. They let everybody in. All 14 teams make it on both the men's and the women's side. All
I
of
know
them.
on the side, it's
Top
just
four
the
seed. Top 4 seeds get a double bye.
See, that's similar how it is in the OVC, which is why last season we was trying to get one of those sweet, delicious buys and couldn't get one, and our time in the tournament ended pretty quick. But
but the funny thing is, the double bye teams, since we've been in the conference, the double bye teams haven't won it yet. Like I said, the 7th seed on the women's side, the 7th seed has won it both times. Now on the men's side, it's pretty clear as day. It's typically one of the top 3 seeds that ends up winning on the men's side. But on the women's side, there's so much parity in that league where like the 7th seed just, if they turn it on, they make a run and they end up winning it.
Do you think y'all got a shot?
Yeah. It's gonna be it's styles make fights, right? So that's why it's critical that we, because the problem last year was we ran into Stony Brook after the second round. Like we had the first bye, and then we ran, and then we played Drexel, who at the time was like, no, it was Hofstra. They pulled the upset. They were like the 13 or the 14 season. They pulled the upset to advance, and we played Hofstra in the first game. And then we had to play Stony Brook, who at the time was ridiculous.
Lights out.
Oh yeah, they were good last year, man. We fought though, but they had some scores. They had a couple good kids. I think one of them came back this year, who's like averaging almost 30 points a game. They had the Gonzalez sisters. One of them graduated, Gigi and Zaida. And Zaida's still there. And Zaida was out here. Zaida pretty much dropped 30 on us when we played them. We won by almost 20, but she dropped 30 on us. But they got a new coach because their coach went to Tulane, if I remember correctly. Was it Tulane that she ended up going? Yeah, she went to Tulane. But we beat Stony Brook by 33. But Zaida was balling. Zaida was balling. I couldn't. It was undeniable. Zaida was balling. But yeah, man. Do you think Hampton can make a run on the men's side? We'll go back to the men's. You think Hampton can make a chance to run on the men's side, Jeff?
They can make a run. Anybody can make a run. But I do think the top programs in the conference is going to be too much. I think we don't have a big man. Kyrie Smullen, who was preseason player of the year, hasn't really played. He just hasn't been effective. So I think what we're missing is a quality big. We got the guards, we got wings, got shooters, which should be enough, but we just don't have rebounding. So we can make a run if we get hot, but it'll have to be a back and forth, high scoring, offensive type game. Anything where we're talking about just defense down low, then we'll struggle.
I will say this about A&T. I think the way that this is the best that they've played pretty much all year. They just got to get some wins. I think if they can figure it out before tournament time, I think they might be able to finally get their first tournament win in that opening round. Yeah. But it's tough because they're short. They're short. Like they've only playing 6 players, so it's gonna be tough. But I think if they keep playing like they've been playing, because they've been playing for Ross, and they're actually playing team ball. I just think it's a matter of they just got to get some shots in. They could have pulled 2 upsets on national television over the last 2 games. So it'll be fascinating to see if they keep playing like they've been playing, they might be able to clip somebody in that tournament. I don't know if they win a conference win, and I think if they do that, I think Ross job's probably safe regardless. But I think that'll pretty solidify if we show some level of progress. We're still looking for our first tournament win. We haven't got one yet. I think y'all have, right? Y'all won a tournament game already, right?
I think we did.
Maybe the first year y'all did.
Yeah, we did.
I know y'all don't think, but
it was one of those lowly programs, but
you take them.
Yeah, you take them.
You take them. All right. Any last thoughts before I do the outro?
Absolutely not. I mean, we forgot to talk about signing day, but
yeah, we got all season.
We
got all year. I mean, I'll give you a quick hot take about A&T class. This is the largest class that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, we got a bunch of high school kids, so
we got them. We still signing people too.
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting. I think that there's going to be a fascinating quarterback battle.
Yeah.
But I think Coach Gibbs, considering the circumstances, done a pretty good job so far. And he did something that the previous coach didn't do.
What did he do?
He got players from the previous team he coached for to come.
From Fort Valley?
He got like 2 or 3 guys from Fort Valley.
Fort Valley State?
Yeah. Big offensive lineman. Hey, look, bro, we got to fix the trenches. You're laughing. I don't need no laughs here, okay?
From the SIAC?
But the thing is, the previous coach couldn't even get anybody to come with him from the school. That should have been the first telltale.
I mean, of course. I mean, he wore a ski mask going to A&T every day because he was robbing.
You know what? I don't need to hear this from you, Mr. Johnson. I don't need to hear this right now.
Stop.
I don't need to hear. I don't need to hear about ski masks and robberies and all that.
Well,
any final thoughts, Mr. King?
I don't really have anything. But look, I will say, the guys from Fort Valley, they were ranked 4th in the SIAC in rushing. So maybe he saw something.
I mean, he ain't like he transferred like 30 guys. I think it was like 2 or 3 people that came from Fort Valley. 2 or 3 transfers. It wasn't that many. I know you got the jokes. We got y'all first week, man. I ain't gonna look, man. It's not gonna be easy.
Look, if y'all beat us, man,
I'm talking Tennessee State.
That's right. Yeah.
So
I will be in attendance.
Yeah, I'm there. I already got my flight. Have tickets gone on sale yet for that?
I hadn't. Usually they'll send something. They'll send an email out. I haven't seen one.
All right, because I got to get my tickets for that. I already got the flight and the hotel, so I got my tickets for that one. Because I got to get my game ticket. I got everything else. That's the only thing I'm missing at this point is the game ticket.
If all goes well, I'll be in the box for that one. I'm hoping.
Yeah. You see, you big time.
If they do me right.
This did happen. I'm going to say something about, we should be getting to recruiting class, but one thing I'll say about the recruiting classes, I think Norfolk, considering that their head coach has been working for Fox during the Super Bowl run, I think Norfolk has done a pretty good job from a recruiting standpoint. I can't say the same for Delaware State.
Yeah.
But it's signing day, and there's another one coming down the pipe. So we'll see.
A&T Roy, players that left for Hampton were all garbage. You can have them.
Don't do that.
No, I'm be honest. I never want to say I didn't say their names, but the wide receiver he took only caught 4 passes last year. I don't know what he can do with him. The lineman that he got over there.
Appreciate it, Gail.
Kind of utility.
All right, Gail. Shout
out to you for becoming a YouTube member.
Yeah. So, you can have him. You can have him.
All right, let me go ahead and do this outro. Oh man, my whole display's acting up right now. Let me get this right. Hold on, let me see here because I'm not the greatest at this thing sometimes. Okay, let me see here. Thank you for listening to Inside HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure you just share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. We look forward to next week as we discuss the latest news in the lab. I am David L. Rhodes. Shout out to the Dean of HBCU Sports, Dr. Kiana Cavil, with Jeffery Johnson and Brandon King. Make sure you follow us all on social media. Go to Brandon King's site, sneakershoptalk.com. Go to Jeffery Johnson at Twitter at JeffreyAlpha06 and come to me at ChampD1012. Make sure you also follow Dr. Kiana Cavil on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And make sure you follow the YouTube page, Inside HBCU Sports Lab 1 on Facebook and HBCU Sports Lab on YouTube. Dream big and continue to move forward. We'll talk to you soon. Jeff.
Of course.
Brandon.
Lecture.
Dismissed.